So you want to make this, huh? You like it? I made it, and you can make it too. And I'm going to show you how. So first things first, picking those colors, you're going to want to get 2 or 3 balls of yarn for the background color and the same for the highlight colors. I used 2 colors of background color yarn and then 2 colors of highlight color yarn. So the highlights are going to be these bubble stitches here and these half double crochets. And the background is also going to be half double crochets and then these star stitches. How do you do half double crochet, star stitch? How do you do bubble stitch? Well, I have links for all of those different types of stitches. None of them I think are that hard, maybe the star stitches, but you can easily replace the star stitch with just a half double crochet stitch. And it'll change the look a little bit, but it'll be fine. And actually, I adapted this pattern from an existing cardigan pattern, which I will also link here, where they don't use a star stitch. They just use half double crochet in its place. Then you're gonna just wanna make 4 rectangles. You're gonna wanna make a front rectangle, a back rectangle, and 2 rectangles for the arms. And they're all gonna be like really similar sizes. And the way that you figure that out is you're gonna wanna take a sweater like this one that fits me really well and just measure it. Subtract an inch or 2 from the areas where there is ribbing, because you're gonna add the ribbing later. I didn't add the ribbing later necessarily, and that was a big mistake because it was a lot of work. But anyways, let me show you the pattern. So it's actually not that hard. You're gonna wanna do star stitches. Star stitches I do every once in a while after every 6 rows. You also wanna do bubble stitches, which I do in the middle of the 6 rows. So I think it's like every 3rd row. Half double crochets happen everywhere else. So it's either a star stitch, a bubble stitch, or a half double crochet. And then the slip stitch ribbing, you just have to know how to do for the edges. So here's how I actually order the colors. I started with purple, then maroon, then my bubble stitch, then maroon, then purple. And then the 6th stitch is where it gets interesting. So I either do a half double crochet of one of my highlight colors, or I do a star stitch with one of my background colors. And I decided to only do half double crochet with one of the highlight colors, the light blue, and then switch the star stitch color every other row. And so you're just gonna do that. You're gonna do the same exact thing for both arms and for the front and the back. But here you're gonna make sure that the front has this little indent that you can make by doing decreases and increases. So just follow the shape of your template sweater to figure out how many decreases and how many increases and where to put them. And that way you can really make sure that it's gonna fit nicely and the front is gonna feel like the front and the back is gonna feel like the back. So before you put everything together, just put the front and the back together at the shoulders and measure that out. For me, I was really happy with the length of it. I was really happy with everything about it. So I just went on and got Pooja's approval to keep moving forward. And she said yes, so let's do it. So I actually did the ribbing all around the neck, doing about 12 or 13 rows. You wanna do it in the neck, you wanna do it at the wrists, and you wanna do it here at the bottom, right? And this ribbing, there's a couple things about it. So one is it's pretty tight, and it also kind of looks a lot like yarn that is knitted instead of crocheted, which I also like. But if you just do it the regular way, where 1 row of half double crochet equals 1 row of this ribbing, you're gonna find that it's a little too tight in certain areas. And so what you wanna do, or what I ended up doing, is I did a single row of half double crochet stitches, and then the second row would have 3. So it would be 1, and then the next one would be 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. And in this way, it was just loose enough. And so now we finally reached the point where we have to weave in all the ends at the shoulder seams and all the ends at the end and here. And for me, it took me about 3 hours, not kidding, nonstop. And I was even weaving like 4 ends at a time. Something else to note, which is why I actually don't recommend you do the half or the slip stitch ribbing this way, and I recommend you do it this way with just a single color, is that having weave in that many ends into such a tight stitch is really difficult. And I ended up having to weave in like 4 at a time. And it still took me 3 hours. So yeah, I just really don't recommend doing it that way. And then you're pretty much done, except you have to block it. Yeah, you have to block it. So the way that you do that is you just put it in the sink, press it really lightly, make sure that it's saturated with water, squeeze out some of that water without wringing it, just kind of press it out, and then roll it up in a towel, give it some presses, leave it out to air dry for like a week. And I made sure to flip it to different sides and stretch it to the right shape that I wanted it to be. And so now we're actually done. Okay. Let's roll this beanbag out of the way. Okay, check it out, check it out. Looks good, right? So we did it. Well, I did it, and hopefully you'll make it. But yeah, I'm super happy with the sweater. I've been wearing it for like a month almost now. And no complaints. The ends have stayed weaved in. The stitches have not come undone. They still look fresh. It hasn't like stretched out or anything. The neck still feels and looks nice. So super happy with this pattern, super happy with this sweater. It's my first sweater. Did I mention that? This is like the first time I made a sweater. I made shirts, I made beanies, I made all sorts of stuff. So really happy with my first sweater. I'm super excited about it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time with some maybe crochet projects, maybe some other DIY. Okay, bye.